Hey everybody, not sure who's out there right now just yet, but wait for some people to join. Hope everyone's getting ready. 4th of July, Independence Day is upon us. We are just about right there. Hey everybody, not sure who's out there right now just yet, but little check on the station there. Hope everyone's doing well. What do we got out there right now? What's going on, everybody? How are we? How you doing? Getting ready here to rock and roll. Anybody on the road right now? It's probably nuts out there, I'm sure, 100%. Yeah, absolutely crazy town. I've been holding off a little bit. What's up? What's going on, Jenks? What are your big plans for 4th of July? Anything? I'm making my decision at the last minute here on where to pivot to. So it's always good just to hang out, be with family, do all that. Always a great time, you know? Um, yeah, so I mean, just waiting for some people to join right now. But, I think part of the, some of the big things are the traffic is just nuts. So it's hard to make up your mind on, I should say not that hard to, hey, Marks, what's going on, man? Hey, nice. Now you guys can do fireworks in Pennsylvania. Man, oh man, that's a game changer right there. Literally, I'm the guy down the street that yeah, don't blow your hand off with your 7-year-old. Not a good idea. Trust me, I've done some epic fireworks displays. Allegedly, as we say on the war room, allegedly. And great time, man. Great time. Pennsylvania, though, you guys have like total legalization of like military grade explosives. What a good time right there. Fun time. Yeah, 4th of July is a great time, right? I mean, Independence Day, obviously everything it means, but it's a good time just to, be with family, be with your loved ones, be with friends, um, you know, just appreciate our country, appreciate where we are. And I think it's so, so important. Yeah, I'm going to spend some time probably just with some family and just downshift a little bit, continue to train as always. I don't think so. I don't think so, Jill. You better check the local laws. You can, but it's like the really tame stuff. You're a Pennsylvania person. Giovanni, what's going on? Is that right? It might be an alien. Remember how the alien stuff all came? Who remembers that? The alien stuff all came, and everyone's saying aliens, aliens, and then it went away just as fast as it came. I don't know. Very sneaky. Very, very sneaky. I might need to do an alien special and bring Aaron from the War Room on here. He's our conspiracy theorist. He's got some good reasons for all these things. But I want to see these dang aliens come down. I want to see these alien ships. As long as they don't blow me up or eat me, obviously. But Pennsylvania pyro by birth. 100%. I am a full out pyro. I'm a full out pyro. I really enjoy it. I'd even thought about trying to get my commercial license just so I can really go all in and go big. Seriously? You really did see that? A white orb. Okay, cool. Hey, I'm serious too, man. This stuff's for real. Like, they had like testimonies on this, and then all of a sudden it went away. Did you take any video? Pretty cool, Giovanni. Hey, wish I'd seen it. Nice. No, no kidding. Okay, cool. Did not know. You can't bring fireworks in from Arlington. So maybe it's local. Maybe it's local. I don't know. I know like sparkling stuff is all pretty good, but I don't know what they allow everywhere else, you know. But yeah, as people start to trickle in tonight, we're going to talk about a few frameworks. I have my RISE R-I-S-E framework and my F.I.R.E F-I-R-E framework for building your confidence, building unstoppable energy. Because I really thought about it. I'm like, what's something good to share? What's the one thing that changes everything? Well, energy changes everything, right? And as long as you're directing your energy in the right direction, you can get a lot of good things done. So harnessing the energy and focusing it, very, very important. But if you have no energy, you have nothing to focus, right? It's like having a gun with no ammunition. It doesn't do anything, okay? Same thing. You can be, very capable and have many skills, but if you have no energy, or low energy, that can really hurt you. So we're going to talk about that. Talk about also, building up your confidence, resetting your operating system, and just how do you go forward after this holiday weekend, obviously, or during it if you want to go get it and got time, go after it, right? But these are really, really important things, I think. So what else we got in here? Hey, I'm glad you came on. Great. Awesome. I hope I'm not going to try Shavaloo. I'm not sure exactly how to say your name, but maybe you can spell it phonetically. But great to have you here. It's awesome. So, yeah. So, I mean, I think, again, as we go into the holiday weekend, and, there's also a chance that, you can get really exhausted from family time, from travel, from the frustrations of, overcrowding, all these different things. So take it all in stride this weekend. That's the biggest advice I would have. I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to all of you. Trust me, I'm on the journey with you. I'm in the fight with you. Okay. So not like I'm the guru up in the mountaintop, although I'd like to be, but, you know what I mean? And so that's, I think, the biggest thing is, I saw this post about Chevy Chase when he made the movie Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation. And he said that it's really a celebration of the family despite, all the shortcomings. It's not making fun of family, but it's, it's a celebration of family and loved ones and things like that. And how, despite how hard we try to make things perfect, it's never perfect. And so celebrate those moments too. Celebrate the lost luggage, celebrate the crowding, celebrate the traffic, celebrate the, the funny things that go wrong, and try to turn it into a positive experience as much as you can. Again, whatever you focus on, you're going to feel, you're going to build. That's what you're going to remember. So focus on the positive aspects this weekend and through whatever you experience. Shavilu. Okay, cool. Thank you for spelling that. Awesome. Great to have you here, Shavilu. Where are you calling from? Where are you dialing in from? I don't even know what to say anymore. Where are you signing in from? All right, so it is 8:08. We'll wait 2 more minutes here. A couple more people to join, and then we will get rolling. I can't even tell how many people are here with us right now. It looks like we got a handful of people. Very cool. All right, so let's do this. Very cool. Awesome. Oh, no way. What? F-35s were training and they had the orb appeared. That's crazy. Crazy. Ohio. Okay. Cool. Paul coming from Florida. Shavilu coming from Ohio. Nice. What's up, Roberto? Did I say hi to everybody so far? Well, yes, I have. All right, we're going to kick it. We're going to kick it here in a minute. We're going to get it going. All right, so again, like what I wanted to talk about, again, in this kind of series, this podcast series and YouTube channel series, whatever we want to call it, I guess everything's a podcast now. But I'm sure there's some kind of definition for this. But in my Talking Head series here, really talking about these 2 frameworks, RISE and F.I.R.E, and really what it's all about is trying to get you more confidence, more energy, and trying to think of what are the things that really make a difference, right? Obviously, hard skills matter. Obviously, energy matters, confidence matters, not shooting yourself in the foot. How do we shoot ourselves in the foot? Well, we shoot ourselves in the foot a lot of the times when we have a lack of belief in ourselves, okay? Self-doubt, self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, all these different things pop up. And so we don't take action. We don't do things because we're afraid of being criticized, we're afraid of being judged, afraid that, we're not going to be good enough. And then whatever we do, we don't do. Actually, we don't do. So we don't take enough action because a lot of the times, hey, Kevin, what's going on from Seattle? A lot of the times what the crazy thing is this, okay? So I was studying some marketing stuff today, as I do, right? Entrepreneur and business. A lot of my days are spent working on my business, working for my clients, working with my clients, creating content, all those things like that. But I'm always trying to up my game so I can bring the best to all of you. And one of the things I learned is that a lot of times in business, and we translate this to life, we can probably translate this to military, to many different things. For example, if somebody's getting a certain type of sales revenue result, right? They're making more money in their business, having more results by using a certain, let's say, advertising marketing technique, okay? A lot of the times you have to consider sample size, meaning that sample size and effort, right? If you aren't doing as much as physically or you're not doing tangibly as much as the other person that you've compared to is, then you probably won't get the same results they're getting. So volume in and of itself is truly is a quality, right? Quantity is a quality all in of itself, all right? That's an old military saying. I can't remember if that's an old, can't remember exactly where that comes from, but mass by itself is one of the military principles. Okay, so here I go, going into my background, right? Military stuff, Marine stuff. Mass is one of the principles of war, okay? It's a principle of business as well, too. But mass in this case, everybody always says quality over quantity. Very true. How about this? How about we dial in the quality and then we scale, right? So in your marketing, for any of you out there in business right now, or even, you're in a job, in a career, whatever it is, you can market your own personal brand to get a better job or to create a second line of, second stream of income, whatever it is for yourself. But I think the big thing is that, you have to consider how much are you doing, right? One of the things I teach, and that probably anyone in this space who knows what they're doing towards getting you to, get from where you are now to where you want to go, is taking massive action, okay? Having a plan, having a strategy, taking massive action. And so I think it's so important that, you learn about the principle of mass and that you're doing things at scale to make a difference. So you can't just say, I tried everything and I did it once. And once you do it once, you're like, okay, well, I'm good, right? I did it once, it didn't work. I did it twice, it didn't work. I did it 10 times, it didn't work, right? The level of mass I'm talking about, whether it's for marketing, it's for going to the gym, it's, whatever it is, you have to be prepared to take consistent, significant action over a long period of time and possibly not see results for a while, okay? There's an old proverb, an old, story of Chinese bamboo, okay? If anybody's heard this before, it's a kind of a big football coach thing. They talk about this, all right? So I don't even know if there's such a thing as Chinese bamboo. I'll just be honest with you, all right? But there's Chinese bamboo. Here it is, right? You plant Chinese bamboo, okay? Or it could be just bamboo by itself. You plant Chinese bamboo, and what happens is you have to water it every day once you plant it. But you won't see anything for like 3 years. You won't see any growth for 3 years, and you have to water it every day. And if you miss a single day of watering, nothing will ever happen, okay? This is the story, right? And so what happens is that suddenly after 3 years, if you water it every day, the shoots will start to sprout out of the ground. And then they'll grow so high, okay? They'll grow so high that, it'll grow like 70 feet in 2 months or something crazy, okay? So this is the story of Chinese bamboo. So, you want to remember that whatever you're trying to do, give it time. Don't expect to see immediate results and be in for the long haul and taking massive action, okay, all the time. All right, so that's the little story of Chinese bamboo, all in my preamble before we get to the main action here. Who else we got here in the chat right now? Let's see. All right. People are going out to buy their fireworks right now, allegedly. Yes, that's right. That's right. Exactly. Shavilu, exactly. It's the compounded interest of consistent effort. Right. 100%. I mean, it's very true though. A lot of the times as you're testing and you're shaping and you're, taking that action, whether it's in the gym or whether it's in your business and your career, you may not see immediate results. But if you're taking the right actions and you're doing you're doing things right and you're doing the right things, then you're going to see, indications that you're making progress. Things will get easier. You're going to learn how to do things. You're going to move on to new, harder problems to solve. And the next thing you know, you are solving significant problems, which are actually going to advance you. Okay. So that, the size and complexity of the problems that you solve and how quickly you get things done will get better and better and better until all of a sudden you're going to have, like you said, that compound effect. Okay. All right. So let's get into this right now. Okay. So let's get into this RISE framework right now, and we'll go with whoever is here. We got people coming in and out, and let's see here. Okay. So let's go into this RISE framework. All right. A big thing here, okay, is that I want you to remember you can't outperform a cluttered mind or chaotic environment. Okay. It's the same thing as, you can't outwork a bad diet. Okay. It's the same type of thing. So you can't outperform a cluttered environment. You can't outperform a cluttered mind. So resetting your operating system is really, really important. Okay. And this is something I do in my coaching membership in my community. We focus on your performance as an individual and, what are the things that are going to make you actually able to perform, able to, stay focused, able to bounce back from any setbacks, things like that. It's really, really important. Okay. And so number one, know how to reset, press the reset button on yourself. A lot of the times for me, pressing the reset button begins with the end of the day. My sleep hygiene. How am I sleeping? Am I going to get my 6 to 8 hours in that night? I think the max I would sleep is 9 hours because then you've filled up the gas tank already. You're already filled up. And so if you go any further than that, it's not going to really have a profound effect on you. So you're not going to have a big effect, not going to be that helpful. So I think, one of the most important things, number one, is getting the right amount of sleep. Okay. So you got to try to get the right amount of sleep. And put in the chat right now, how much are you guys sleeping? Put that in there. How much are you sleeping? Put that in the chat. Let's see. All right. I want to get an idea of what I'm working with here. I consistently will get about 7 hours a night. Okay. 6 hours on the low end. I find that not drinking alcohol helps, honestly. I find that not eating too late at night helps as well too. Okay. Working out helps. 8 hours. Nice, Giovanni. There you go. That's good. Not eating too late at night helps. Working out helps. 6.5. Okay. It's not bad, Shavilu. Not bad. Climbing cargo varies from 4 to 9. All right, brother, sister, whoever's in there. I want you to get that up to 6 hours minimum. Okay. 6 to 8 hours is a sweet spot if you can. Okay. Take a look at your sleep hygiene. This is what we're talking about. All right. This is what we're talking about right now. Okay. All right. 6 or 7 hours a night. Not bad, Kevin. Not bad. 5, need to improve. Let's get it up 1 more hour. Okay, Paul? Get up from 5, get to 6. All right. That'll be helpful. Okay. So this is what we're talking about resetting our operating system. The first thing we got to do is really the first thing we want to be able to do is to, work on our sleep and get our sleep to a good place. Okay. So that's going to be the first step of resetting the operating system. And then you really want to focus on mental clarity. Okay. Throughout the day, one of the things is that, I see what you consume through your eyes, your ears, obviously your mouth, what you're eating, all will impact your energy and impact your mental clarity. Okay. If you sit there and fear mongering, doom scrolling all day, looking at things that get you upset, it's going to really mess with your energy. It's going to hurt, put a hurting on your focus, your ability to focus, your ability to really see clearly and to focus on what matters, right? Because what matters is that you're able to really focus and block out the noise. You're able to block out the noise to accomplish the tasks and learn the skills, develop the skills that are going to make you perform better. Okay. This is some basic stuff. Okay. But Brilliance in the basics is what separates oftentimes people that succeed. And if we can agree that success is you achieving your goals, right, and your end states and living a life that is satisfying and fulfilling to you, okay, then this is what's going to bring you success, right? Brilliance in the basics, like controlling your sleep to the best of your ability, getting the best sleep you can, okay? If you need to take a melatonin to sleep, that's all right, okay? Okay, falling asleep might be an issue. Make sure you're exercising. Make sure you don't eat too late. Probably finish eating 2 hours before you go to sleep. Any alcohol, 2 hours before you go to sleep, finish it, last drink. No caffeine, probably at least, I would say 6 hours before bedtime. Some of you maybe might be able to get away with 5 hours, 4 hours, but do not have a cup of coffee like 2 hours before that. Okay, you'll still have the half-life of caffeine. It'll still be in your system. It's going to mess you up, okay? Again, we're talking about the R in the R.I.S.E, the RISE framework, okay? The R is reset your operating system, okay? And let me go through this really quickly. So reset your operating system is the R. I, identify your true mission. S, structure your strategy. And E, execute with ferocious optimism. That's my own personal philosophy. We will talk about that, okay? Again, we're talking about the R in the RISE framework, which is to reset your operating system, okay? So a big thing here also would be, breath work, getting focusing tools. What will allow you to focus? Declutter, okay? Turn off the TV. Turn off any other inputs. Get to a quiet space to work. These are very simple things. But in school, why do they have people, why are they having people go to the library to do work? Okay? The library's quiet. You get focused on what needs to be done, okay? I mean, these are all like really basic, simple things, but I want to talk about this, all right? It's really, really important. I could tell you a bunch of bullshit, okay? I could tell you things like jump in the cold plunge. We're going to do breath work until, we hallucinate. And then, journal for 30 minutes and then you'll be ready, okay? Hey, wake up in the morning. Here's what I do. Wake up in the morning, say a prayer. I set my goals for the day, either through prayer and meditation. I probably write my goals down. I used to write them down every single day, but probably I do it about 4 days a week now, okay? Realistically, 4 or 5 days a week. Write them down quickly. I grab a cup of coffee, a glass of water with lemon squeezed into it, and I get to work because I've already have a continuing project from the night before I'm working on. And it feels really satisfying, okay? And if I'm not jumping right into work early in the morning, I'm getting out for cardio, for something for the gym, okay? Either one is okay, all right? Some people will say I recommend getting, physical training in first thing in the morning if you can, all right? But there's a trade-off. There's always a trade-off. The first part of the day is when you're going to have the most energy, honestly. You're going to have a lot of mental clarity, a lot of energy, and if the wolves are at the door and you're feeling pressure, I'll tell you what Stephen Covey used to say all the time is put first things first, okay? Put first things first. Now, you have to make sure you're exercising every day. You have to, okay? Play the long game, take care of your health. It's so important. This is a part of resetting your operating system, okay? But, when you reset your operating system, you see with mental clarity, you can devote that early energy to the most important thing for you. And if that's writing an email, it's, creating a new page for your website. It's, a piece of marketing. It's just making sure you get out the door on time for work, okay? With, everything arranged, everything organized, you know what your day is, and you get out. That's important too, okay? All those things are important, but first, put first things first in the morning. But really, a successful morning starts with a successful sleep hygiene going to bedtime, okay? This is all part of resetting your operating system, okay? Now, silence, solitude, breath work all do work as well too. If you find yourself in the middle of the day and you're getting overwhelmed, you're getting stressed, definitely go to your breath. Doing breath work, okay, is very important. In my coaching membership, I talk with my clients all the time in there. I actually did 2, not this month, last month, actually in May. Our session consisted of several different breathing techniques, our live coaching session, okay? So I practice with them live several different techniques. One is the Tummo breathing, fire breathing method from the Tibetan monks, and then a couple others that are very useful that I've used with clients before and I use myself. And the great thing is I hang that session is unlimited replays in the members area, so they can practice that as much as they want. But what I'm telling you guys is that you got to have some kind of tool for breath work. you have to have a way to, as they say in negotiations, go to the balcony, be able to get the heck out of your system, get out of your environment that you're in that's causing you the stress, so that you actually, can reset the operating system. Like, it's like you're shutting off the computer, turning it off, turning it on, restarting. Okay. Very, very important. So you have to be able to sometimes do a pattern interrupt on you. A lot of the times people are doing pattern interrupts on themselves, but it's very negative. Okay. Yeah, Shelby, though, I see that constant noise in my brain is a huge challenge. It took 5 years to complete. Okay. Yeah. And I mean, and that's okay. That's difficult. That's difficult right there for sure. 5 years to complete a manuscript. Knowing some other writers, I mean, it's, depends on what we're working on, and that's not an easy thing for sure. But the constant noise in your brain is a huge challenge, for anybody, right? So definitely start with your sleep, but you need to have some type of pattern interrupt with deep breathing. And let's talk about what to take away. Okay. Take away any toxic voices, toxic relationships, take away any toxic content. All right. I mean, the other day, I think, I was getting ready to go to bed with my son, and he put on like Squid Game. Okay. And so I'm watching this, and if you've ever seen Squid Game, it gets pretty violent, right? And after a while I said, look, I got to shut this off. I can't have this on before I go to bed. They're like, going and killing people, all this stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Oh dear is right. I said, okay, I know. Cool. Very cool show. Very cool. But it's not, it's not conducive to getting a good night's sleep. Let's just say that. All right. So, you want to make sure that you're taking away any of the toxic content, anything like that, that's going to actually, disrupt your focus. It's going to clutter your mind, and, make your brain fogging out without like the physical brain fog that you get from food, but actually the fear, distraction, stress, something triggers a thought of something else. Next thing you know, this kind of, if you're working on something difficult, which you're trying to grow and you're trying to learn a new skill or accomplish something that you're not really used to doing, okay, then this is going to be tough for you because you're distracting the heck out of yourself. You're really distracting yourself by feeding yourself negative content. I mean, I'm talking from the music you listen to, are you keeping the news on? Are you scrolling through TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and, negativity or dopamine hits, things like that? Just shut it off. Shut it off. Okay. You got to shut it off. And this is when I do say, go for a walk, get out in nature, meditate for a minute, take a breath, take a break, get refocused on what needs to be done. Because if you want to make progress and you want to make a breakthrough this year, this summer, right, this month, as soon as possible, we want to create those breakthrough moments, okay, those high points in our lives. We need to get very clear and focused on what needs to be done right now. Okay, what's going to get you, like in football, we talk about what's going to be the biggest yardage chunk play we can do. Is it a pass play? Is it a run play? But we got to do something. We can't just sit there, okay? Otherwise, the defense is going to attack us. We're going to go backwards, right? And that's football talk, okay? So, hell yeah, that's right. So, very important, okay? Next, the I in RISE. Identify your true mission. This is where I'm segueing into now, if you can tell. Refocus on what is the priority, okay? Priorities are called priorities because they're priorities, right? First things first. What's important? If everything's important, nothing's important, okay? You got to take a stand, and you got to be like, this is what needs to happen, okay? Let's say, for example, you're debating going on a vacation, not going on a vacation, okay? Look at your priorities. Is your priority saving money? Is your priority being with the family? Is it both? How can you do both? But you got to put the priorities as the priority. Let's say your priorities are, I need to, prioritize my fitness, my health, or my work, right? So they're both very important, but you need to block off in your schedule which one you can do where, right? You can do them both, but only one is the greatest priority at the time. If fitness is the greatest priority, then get up earlier and go do it. If that's no kidding, like maybe you bet somebody $1,000 that you lose 30 pounds, okay? Well, then you better get up early and go do it. There's a way to do it. Don't tell me there's no way. There's a way. There's a way. Go to bed earlier, get up earlier, okay? But if you know you can block off time at, 6 p.m. to go to the gym and get it done, you still have energy and you're going to do it, then that's okay too, because then work is your priority and kicking ass in your job is your priority at the time. Okay. Which is fine too. Totally fine too. All right. But, one thing is that most people major in minor things. Okay. They chase goals that they don't even care about. I think it's so important. So you've got to prioritize what's really important to you. And it always starts with getting clear and focused about what you truly want right now. Like, what is it that you actually want? What's actually going to make a difference in your life? And once you get clear and focused on that, then, great things can happen for you, because you can actually move forward and make things happen. You'll have the energy, you'll have the focus, and you'll have such a deep driving purpose behind you that you're able to take the hits and get it back off of the ground again and get moving when things get bad. It's just how it is. Okay. I think the thing is to understand that if you have full clarity on what your goals are, what's important to you, you've prioritized them. All right. You are getting enough sleep. Okay. You're not cluttered with all these competing things coming into your mind. All right. You know how to do a pattern interrupt or restart the operating system, like I'm saying. Okay. And you're identifying your true mission. Nothing can stop you. Nothing should be able to stop you. Okay. I mean, it's, and that's the thing I would say to you, is that if you had this full clarity and you had the energy, what would you be working on? What would you be building? Put it in the chat. What is it that you'd be building? What would you be going after? Majoring in the minors, right? Hey, I'm so glad, Shavilu. Hey, this is your place. You'd love to be in my coaching community for sure. Coaching community membership is a place for you. You'd love it there. Great people inside there. Big support, big accountability circle. People that are all striving to get ahead, and a lot of successful people in there too, and a lot of people trying to rise up and get to their next level for sure. Everybody's trying to do that. Me too. Everyone. So you'd love it. I'm glad. I'm glad it's helping. But what would you ask yourself? If you were very clear and focused, you had clear and focused goals, you had total focus, no distractions, you knew how to do a pattern interrupt, you knew how to get yourself back on track, what would you be building right now? If you could build anything, what would you build right now? Okay. And that's one great thing, is that inside my coaching membership, my community, I'm going to help you get laser focused, locked onto target, and never let go until you get things done. And anytime you feel like you're getting off track, you have an accountability circle to get you back on track. And that's what hopefully also these YouTube lives are doing as well too. Okay. I think that they're really useful, and hopefully if you're live with me right now, you can always play this again in the background while you're doing something, because positive content that moves you forward and supports you, and it helps you grow the best side of yourself, your virtuous character, the greater virtues, the better parts of you, the better behaviors, your courage, your determination, your, belief in yourself, your self-belief, your faith. Listen to content that does that. Okay. And, I'm glad you're here with me tonight, and there are other people that do that too. And otherwise, sometimes you got to think, if you're wasting your time just, for the dopamine hit, listening to things that get you angry, get you afraid, and make you, feel frustrated, just got to think, are you wasting your time? Don't waste your time. This is your time. Your time is now. Okay. One of the things I will say is that you have more time than you think in some ways when you're totally focused on your goals and the things you need to do. Okay. And you're focused on your priorities. You got more time than you think. This is the duality of time. I've talked about this before. Okay. In my opinion. All right. But you also make the mistake of thinking you have more time than you actually have when you're unfocused, when you're, when you don't have priorities, you don't have goals, you don't have a plan. Okay. It's a strange thing. And I liken this to, Stephen Hawking's the famous physicist who talked about the universe in a nutshell, right? Like the quantum theory, the stretching dilation of time and space. Okay. I'm geeking out over here a little bit, but that's how I think of, like, we have a lot of time. We have all the time in the world, and we have no time at the same time. You have no time if you're unfocused and you don't know what you truly want. Okay. Once you know what you truly want, you got an idea of an arena, even an arena that you want to go into, then you have more time than you think. Okay. And because you're going to pour yourself into the tasks that need to be done. You're going to do what needs to be done. You're going to go after it. like with such passion and fervor. You're going to go after it with such, such determination, such fire, okay? And, faith and all that stuff like that, then you have more time. Then you have more time than you think, okay? It's a strange thing. But that makes sense, everybody? Oh, I love this. Focused on my AI cybersecurity skills, keeping up with trends of tech. Cool. I love it. Actually, one of my clients that's coaching today is a cybersecurity person. Pretty cool. I don't talk about my clients much, but very, very cool. Is like a coder, cybersecurity person that's very skilled in all that stuff. That's awesome. Get after it. This huge marketplace there. Fantastic. All right, RISE. This is the RISE framework, okay? Reset your operating system. Identify your true mission. Structure your strategy, okay? And we'll go after the FIRE. We'll talk about the FIRE framework after this, all right? I'm glad you guys are sticking here with me tonight. This is great to be here with you. Thank you for letting me do what I love. I love what I do. And if I can change one life tonight and help one person, then I've done my job and I've fulfilled my mission. So let's get the hell after it. Let's do this, all right? So structure your strategy. This is the thing, okay? If you have your goals defined, right? We got our goals defined. We are good at decluttering our mind and our environment. Okay, it's very important too, because if your environment's a total pigsty mess, it's going to be distracting to you, okay? Why do I have all this stuff behind me? Because it reminds me of a time of when I did some significant things that were hard, okay? These aren't given to you. These are earned. All these things are earned behind me, okay? And so it's important that, but it keeps my thinking clear and linear and supports my confidence. It anchors me in on important past achievements, okay? It's the same thing, like in your environment, demonstrate to yourself how disciplined you are by keeping a clear and clean environment. Now, I'm not perfect, right? I have some things laying around, but one thing I've learned is that if I have a clean operating space and I make sure that that's organized, I feel proud of myself, and I feel like my mind feels like, it's like an example of what I'm capable of, the discipline I'm capable of, okay? And, your discipline, though, will die without a plan, okay? Because if you just have constant discipline every day, but you don't have a huge, powerful purpose behind it with a compelling vision, then the discipline's going to go away, okay? I'm going to tell you this right now. One thing that you will lose on, I don't care what anybody says out there about, discipline is freedom and all this stuff like that. It is, okay? But the constant flex of discipline and of willpower is an energy and a muscle movement that we don't always have, because our discipline will die down, our willpower will die down. But when we set systems and processes in place, we set up structure into our life, building habits, okay, and values. Like, why do you brush your teeth every night even when you're tired, okay? Because it's something you always have done, and there's some kind of impulse you feel like, I got to do this, right? And also because you know the effects if you don't, okay? You want the same thing that's making you do the things you need to do, create the habits that will get you to where you want to go in life, okay? You want to create those type of habits and that type of punishment and reward system in your own mind, okay? You want to have like this linkage to positivity that makes you feel good when you do the things that are going to take you to achieve your goals. Okay, whatever the small tasks are, like going to the gym. All right, I know I go to the gym every day. I keep it up. I put blinders on. I do what I'm supposed to do. I eat the right amount of protein, all this stuff like that, and I'm gonna feel great. I'm gonna be stronger. I'm gonna get the results I want. Point, period, paragraph. That's how it goes. Okay, if you don't do those things, you're not gonna get the results. Okay, so we need to structure the strategy. Structure. I'm gonna tell you, structure, framework, systems, processes. Discipline exists within these. Discipline is a muscle movement, is a focus. It's a part of willpower, right? You have to, discipline implies that there's a bit of struggle against a temptation, that there's, some type of struggle or a strain against something pulling you away. What about the freedom of just, this is how it is. There is no struggle. There is no strain. I'm doing this. I get up in the morning. I go work out. I take these actions relentlessly for months. In my business, for example, I market every day and I will never stop until it kills me. Okay? If you set your mind that way, you set your value system that way, you've attached enough positive linkage in your body, okay, in your mind, in your heart, in your emotions, whatever the hell you want to say, wherever it occurs for you, okay, in your brain, right? I'm not Dr. Huberman over here, all right? But you create enough positive linkage to doing the things that will give you success that you don't even need discipline anymore. It's just how you set your life up. Now in the beginning, when you start out to build a habit, you're going to need discipline. You're going to need willpower. You're going to need all those things. But I'm going to tell you, it's like there's a book I read before that I suggest reading. It's good, called The Automatic Millionaire. Okay. What The Automatic Millionaire talks about is that becoming a millionaire is easy. All you need to do is be disciplined one time. You need to have discipline and willpower, tremendous willpower once. And that's when you set up your automatic investing plan and they create a condition for you where, the money you get automatically goes into an account that you can't touch. Okay. So you got to be disciplined one time. All right. The same thing when you set up systems and processes and structures. You have to be disciplined one time, willpower one time. It's the same thing. You're building a business. You may have to have multiple, months of discipline. You may have to have months of willpower. But honestly, discipline and willpower gets a bit boring and hard, right? What about passion and hope and fire and excitement and curiosity and all these things like that, okay? If you're doing something because you hate it and you keep doing it over and over and over again, I'm just telling you, once you get good at it, you're probably going to have a different feeling about it. It's probably going to feel better. You have more passion about it. But if you don't, that willpower and that discipline is probably going to start to erode, okay? So you got to make sure that your passion, your purpose, your vision are all intertwined, that you're very curious about what you're working on, okay? And so I'm talking about structuring your strategy, all right, making sure that you have a powerful strategy, because if you have your goals outlined, right, and it's taking a tremendous amount of willpower, tremendous amount of discipline to achieve these goals, okay, but you don't have like a larger strategy you're following, you're going to get off track eventually. You're going to get distracted and get off track, okay? So you got to make sure that you have a broader strategy, okay? And for strategy, more broadly, we're talking about the ends, ways, and means of how we get from where we are to where we want to be, okay? So what are the methods you're going to use to get from where you are now to where you want to be, okay? And if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have that figured out, it's one of the things I always tell people. Number one, you've got to get clear and focused about what your goals are. Number two, you got to have a blueprint, a success blueprint that has been successful in the past for other people, okay? Something that's a proven success strategy. Number three, you've got to be able to take massive amounts of action. We talked about that before, like scaled action, massive action. Really take a look at why you're not getting the success you want. How much action are you taking, all right? And then last, creating this unstoppable, resilient mindset with my own personal philosophy of ferocious optimism is what I teach, okay? If you don't know what that strategy is, you don't even know how to create a strategy, a lot of these things are hitting you in the face like a fire hose right now. I'm telling you, I suggest you join my community, join my coaching membership, check it out. The link is in my bio. Click it in there, okay? I'm not so fancy that I can throw it in the chat here for you. Maybe I can. I don't know. I'll try to figure it out. But what I will say, click the link in my bio, check out the coaching membership. You could join for a month. It's $47.99, okay? The price is going up very soon. Actually, after the 4th of July weekend, I extended it past this weekend. After the 4th of July weekend, the price is going up, okay? But I'm going to keep the price the same over the 4th of July weekend, $47.99. You can join for a month, and if it's not for you, you can leave. No, there's no big obligation where, oh, now you owe me all this money and you're in here forever. No, you can join for a month, come in, check out the community, check it out, come to a live coaching session. It's the third Friday of every month, okay? Stick around for the Q&A. It's a Zoom call, so we're on Zoom. We all see each other. It's really cool. We'll actually get to interact, all right? I think you're going to like it. You're going to get some one-on-one coaching with me in the Q&A, all right, with the group. And it's growing. It's not so huge right now that it's not intimate. So it's a great time. It's a great group. Check it out, okay? So if you're getting hit in the face right now and you're like, strategy, what the hell is he talking about? What's this? What's that? I suggest you go deeper than just getting free content, okay? Go deeper, make a commitment, commit to yourself, commit to your development. Every time I've invested in myself, it's always come back to me. It makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference in your life, okay? Because then you have an accountability circle. Now you got people that are going to hold you to your strategy, okay? You've got me on the chat, on the community. You could DM me in the community and be like, hey, Ben, I have a question about this. Boom, I'm going to answer you. You're actually going to hear from me, okay? And then you could ask it for the group too. I had, somebody who was one of the community members, asking about something that was going on at work. They're in management in a corporation. And they're like, has anybody ever experienced this? Someone else used to be a high-level manager, came back and gave them some coaching and leadership. And then I jumped in too. So you got 2 for 1, right? You never know who's in that community. Okay. So very, very cool. All right, let's keep driving here. Okay. So, I think you always, again, going back to one thing with the mission, structure your strategy. One of the things we always did in the military, and my veterans out there, tell me if you remember this. I know you do remember this, but we use something called the SMEAC order. Okay. Situation, mission, execution, admin, and logistics, command, and signal. Okay. And so the mission order in the military was how everything was formed around it. You define the situation. That means the context you're operating in, right? What is the enemy? Where is the enemy? Who are they? What kind of powers they have? What weapons they have? Okay. What's the weather going to be like? What time? What's the time? What's the lunar cycle? What's the moon like? All these different things. Okay. Next, the mission. Okay. What is the mission? What are we planning on doing by when? It's a goal. And then what is the commander's intent? What is the intention? So it allows freedom of action. Okay. It allows freedom of action. And if somebody thinks of some a better way to do it, as long as it sticks within the commander's intent, they can do it that way. It allows freedom of action. It's really a beautiful thing. Execution. We have clear tasks for each taskable unit or person inside the team, all right? Or in like a company, a battalion, each subunit, right? Or a division, okay? So you tell them, Ben Pappas or 2nd Raider Battalion, okay? My battalion I commanded. At 0800, you will attack to destroy the enemy forces on Hill 182 in order to seize the hill, right? Or in order to, obliterate them. Obliterate, right? That's just a joke, okay? In order to destroy the enemy forces in the area and reduce their combat capability. Now, because I said in the beginning, in order to seize the hill, let's say, well, what if we all put ski masks on and we jumped around like crazy and they ran away and we took the hill? Does that accomplish the mission? In order to take yes, it does. Okay. So it allows creativity. I'm just totally making this up. I'm being nonsensical. All right. I'm being silly right now. I'm being goofy. But you accomplish the mission according to what the intention is. What's the overall intent? All right. Very, very important. Okay. PMO, maybe a marksmanship, primary marksmanship officer, maybe. I'm not sure. PMO, PME is, professional military education. I'm not sure. PMO, wait, Provost Marshal's office. Marine PMO is Provost Marshal's office, the PMO. That's like the military police. Okay, guys, any questions on that so far? Throw it in the chat if you got questions about anything I've talked about so far. Okay, again, we're talking about this RISE framework, okay? Reset your operating system, identify your true mission, structure your strategy, and execute with ferocious optimism. Okay, here we go. It's not about perfect execution. It's about consistent, aggressive forward motion, okay? You are going to learn as you go, all right? You're going to learn as you go. You're never going to know all the answers. It's never going to be perfect, but you're going to learn as you go, okay? But you won't know until you go. You won't know until you actually take action and you encounter the marketplace, you encounter the enemy, you encounter your own struggles with the gym. You'll encounter, right now I'm building a landing page for my business, right? A landing page for another program I'm offering. And I don't know the struggles until I start to do it, right? I think I got this down, but there are a lot of things I have to do, just as an example, okay? Or if you're somebody like in cybersecurity and coding, and all that tech space, you might not know every problem until you start to engage with the enemy. You start to do the project, okay? So, ferocious optimism, my own personal philosophy, is really about the belief that we each have this unique personal genius and this this unique talent that when we focus on it, we discover it, and we develop it, we bring our highest and best selves to the world, okay? Our highest and best version of ourselves to the marketplace, to our team, to our company, to our friends, to our family, to ourselves, and to the world, okay? And so what that takes is constant, never-ending improvement. What it also takes is constant action. You have to be willing to take action in order to execute with everything you have each and every day. The only way you're going to get from where you are now to where you want to be is by taking action, taking massive action, okay? And one of the things I think is so important is the prioritization of tasks. What are you choosing to do today? What are you choosing to do tomorrow? What's one thing you can do every day that will be a game changer to get you towards your goals, okay? Because if you don't have a clear prioritization, you don't prioritize really clearly about what it is you actually want, all right, then it's going to be very, very hard for you to get clear and focused and to get things done, okay? That's going to be a very, very important thing for you, okay? So again, execution is everything. You've got to make sure that you are, totally focused on what your goals are. That's one of the reasons I wrote my goals down every day, because then from there, I'm creating my task list after looking at the goals. I'm like, all right, this is what I want to accomplish. So what does it take to accomplish that? What are the little things that I need to do daily, weekly, monthly? What do I need to accomplish in order to build the skills or market myself, right? Or get the attention of somebody that I need to get attention of to sell this thing, build this thing, get this job, and, get enough revenue and income that I can invest in this thing, whatever it is you're trying to build, okay? But it's going to take constant movement forward, okay? And along the way, this is where ferocious optimism really comes in. Along the way, as you encounter friction and you get knocked down every now and then, okay, you're going to get knocked down. It's just how it is in the marketplace, right? Whatever you're trying to do, sometimes you're going to get knocked down. You're going to take a hit, all right? It's just how it is. You're going to take a hit and you're going to feel down. So you got to build this powerful, resilient mindset, okay? This combat mindset that you're ready to take the shots in the face. You're ready to be like Chinese bamboo, like I talked about earlier. You're ready to put in the work with no reward, with no visible progress for a long period of time. But just remember that as you do the work, as you work on the work is working on you. You are getting better in ways, building skill sets, getting repetition, because repetition is the mother of skill, right? The more you do something that's of value to you, right? The more you work on a skill, the better you get at it. It's just how it is. And eventually you hit a point to where you've got enough airspeed and altitude, enough skill, enough ability, enough momentum to where you can do things faster than other people, okay? You have built up enough reputation. You've built up enough skill set that you're doing things better than other people do them. And people will take notice. And the next thing you know, you're delivering on promises, you're delivering on tasks that you have to do faster than other people or faster than you did before, right? Until it becomes even at a world-class level. You can do that. You can reach a world-class level in your arena, whatever it is you do, if you have enough repetition, enough practice, okay? That's like, you look at LeBron James, all these famous basketball players, how many free throws they shoot before games. I think they were saying like Steph Curry does like 3 hours of shooting practice before any game that he plays or something like that. Something crazy, right? He shoots 1,000 shots a day, some of these people, okay? And that's before a game. Before a game, he'll shoot 500 shots. Tell me in the chat. If you guys know about that, tell me in the chat how many it is. Or if you look it up, tell me, okay? But it's insane, right? It's really crazy. So again, repetition is the mother of skill. Why do I talk about a lot of the same things over and over and over again, okay? This is a different thing I'm talking about now, but very similar things I'll talk about over time because, again, brilliance in the basics, and just like a professional athlete, you got to do some of these things over and over and over and over again until you get really, really good at them, okay? Again, discipline. We want discipline to become a habit. We want to not even to be any resistance. So it's not even discipline. It's just what we do, okay? And if you feel a little bit of the resistance, it's just a touch. But your habits are such that this is just what you do all the time. This is who you are. It's become part of your identity, all right? It's the same thing with willpower, okay? You do willpower in order to build the habit. And once the habit's built, it's minimal willpower to keep it going to the point to where it's actually pleasurable. Like going to the gym for me is a pleasure. I love going there, right? I really do. Even when I'm tired, I still love going there. So because I've built up enough willpower, enough, momentum and habits to where it's something I look forward to all the time. So you want to make doing the hard and good things a habit and connect positivity to them. You want to feel good about them. Once you do that, once you fall in love with the process and you're excited about the process and you're curious about it and you reward yourself for learning things and doing new skills, even if it's still only a small puzzle piece for what you're trying to accomplish, when you reach that point to where you're actually excited about working on the tasks and the skills and the things that are going to build this bigger thing you're trying to build, then you've seen through the matrix, right? You've solved a huge puzzle. You cracked the code, so to speak. Okay. Okay, there it is. Yeah, Steph Curry, 500 shots daily, right? That's a lot, okay? Crazy. And this is a guy who's probably the best shooter in the world, okay? All right, guys, so we talked about this RISE framework. And, if tonight resonated with you, if you're tired of trying to figure this out alone, and if you know you're capable of much more, but you need clarity, strategy, and strength, and you need accountability, an accountability circle, it's really time to go ahead and check out my Ferocious Optimist coaching membership and my community. Click with the link in my bio, okay? Go there, check it out. Again, it's $47.99 right now. Prices are going to go up right after the 4th of July. I'm going to, raise the prices on it. So it's a great time to join right now. And again, the kind of the no risk for you is that you go in there and join. It's not going to cost you anything, except $47.99. Check it out. Come in for one coaching membership. For one of my coaching sessions, normally it's a whole heck of a lot more money than that. Okay. So it's a great opportunity to get in there. Unlimited replays on the coaching session, unlimited replay on the presentation. Actually hang my PowerPoint deck, my slide deck in there. It's my own, intellectual property, everything. I hang in there so you guys can use it, can reference it, can learn from it. And then you have everyday activity and accountability, interaction with the chat. You can DM me in the chat. You can post questions, tell us about your progress. I have weekly challenges in the chat as well too in the community. So you join the community, the Ferocious Optimist community, and you're gonna have all kinds of awesome people in there. All right, it's really fantastic. Hey, take care. Thank you. You too. Great to have you in here, Jill. And so it's just a fantastic opportunity. Go ahead and check that out if you're interested. If this resonates with you, if this makes sense, if you need to get strategy and you need to get lit on fire a bit, you want to have an accountability partner, you want to have accountability partners, my community is a great place for that. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be bringing this to you. I've got too much pride for that if I didn't think it was good. It's going to be awesome and you're going to love it. All right. All right. Let's talk about this F.I.R.E. FIRE. Let's talk about the FIRE framework. Okay. So one of the most important things with this is that, again, I talk about the intangibles a lot, and I'm trying to hit you guys. I'm trying to get you to make your own breakthrough, mental breakthrough through lots of different perspective shifts. Okay. So we talked about the RISE, reset your operating system, identify, your mission. Okay. And, start with your strategy, reframing your strategy, structure your strategy, identify your true mission, execute with ferocious optimism. And now with the FIRE framework, okay, a big thing is that we want to focus on energy, okay? So fueling your body first. And I talked a little bit about getting enough sleep before, but especially now, to really light yourself on fire, to really be at your peak, at your best, you're going to have to, okay, you're really going to have to know how to, fuel your body, fuel your mind, make sure that you are giving yourself enough water, enough sleep, enough energy, all these things, okay? Because the things you put into your body will affect and impact your energy and your ability to focus a ton, all right? If you're not hydrated enough, if you're not sleeping enough, you're not breathing enough, a lot of the times people go through life hypoxic, meaning they do shallow breathing, stress breathing all the time, which can affect you at a cellular level and really mess you up. It can actually, cause you to do cellular mutations and all kinds of things they're finding. It can lead to sickness. It can even lead, as some things have seen. Hey, awesome. Go get it. Awesome. I'm so glad you're doing your workout. This is great. Great to have you on, Art. And so like the stress, all this stress can lead to disease, can lead to sickness. Okay. If you're shallow breathing, stress breathing all the time. Okay. Sleep will help you to reduce the stress. Next, what you consume in the content will help you to reduce the stress. Like we talked about earlier in the reset your operating system. Okay. So this is fuel the body first. Okay. Your body is truly your battery of confidence. Okay. Your body is your battery of confidence. Okay. So if you get your workout in, you're doing your cardio, you're doing your strength training, you're feeling that energy rise, you're feeling your confidence, you're keeping promises to yourself, you're feeling more self-trust, more self-belief because you're keeping the small promises to yourself. The next thing you know, you believe you can, okay? Because you're doing hard things and testing yourself daily, all right? With all these things you're doing, and it's going to make a huge difference for you, okay? Fuel your body first. When you fuel your body and get your body on fire, your mind will follow. Take action to change your energetic state. Everything else will follow from that, okay? But we've got to get down to the brilliance and the basics. Again, hydration, most people spend their lives dehydrated too, okay? So people spend their lives in a state of hypoxia, meaning they're hypoxic, meaning that they don't breathe enough, okay? It's really true. And then they also are dehydrated, okay? Both these two things, huge, all right? So One of the first things I do in the morning when I wake up is I drink 2 big glasses of water with fresh squeezed lemon inside them. All right. Makes a huge difference. So instantly I'm getting my hydration. I'm starting my hydration off right. All right. Deep breathing. When I have a blood oxygen monitor, I wear that on my watch and I measure myself every now and then. If I notice that I'm doing stress breathing or I'm feeling a little lightheaded, I check that and I get back into my breathing routine to make sure that I'm breathing as much as I should be. Okay. And I'm getting enough oxygen to my brain. In fact, when you do some of these breathing techniques, like the Tumo breathing, the F.I.R.E. breathing, some deep breathing techniques, it can be like having a shot of espresso. Okay. Because a lot of the times you are hypoxic. You don't have enough oxygen going in your brain. So you can't think. If you're dehydrated and you're hypoxic, you can't think right, okay, to solve problems, to get things done. So please, please, please take care of yourselves and fuel your body first, okay? So one of the most important things is if you're going to be a leader, all right, you're going to get ahead and make a breakthrough in your goals and be a leader, okay? The number one way you do that, first of all, is by having enough energy, okay? And to have enough energy, you have to fuel your body first, okay? And that means what you're eating. If you're eating processed foods, things like that, yeah, lemon water is absolute gold, 100%. If you're eating processed meats, it's one of the worst things for you. From what I understand, okay, and some of the studies I've read, processed meats can cause more cancer than smoking, okay? Maybe, you can fact check me on that. Check it out on ChatGPT, but it's something that I've heard before, that I've seen before, read before. And so really what you put into your body, pay attention to as you eat something. Do you experience brain fog? Like what's going on, right? How do you feel after you eat something when you have an empty stomach? If you notice you feel sluggish, you feel your energy goes down, you get brain fog, then this is probably not a good thing for you, okay? Go ahead on an empty stomach and eat an apple and tell me how you feel. You'll feel great. You're not going to feel any energetic change. Apple and some water, right? You're going to feel great, okay? Go have like some processed meats and then, on an empty stomach or maybe some like, a couple slices of pizza, something like that. See how you feel. You're going to feel sluggish. It's just how it is, okay? So, I mean, if you're feeling low confidence, honestly, if you're feeling low confidence, feeling low energy, you're feeling down, you're feeling depressed, check your fuel sources first. Check your fuel sources, okay? I also have black coffee in the morning, okay? I do put stevia in there. Sometimes I put Splenda. Stevia is better for you. But I have black coffee, nothing else except for the stevia. I have that in the morning as well, too. I have coffee, a couple times a day, all right? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. That's to me, that is a performance enhancing drug, a little caffeine, coffee, good to go. All right. So F.I.R.E, F, fuel the body first. I, initiate with identity. Okay. You don't wait to start until you feel confident. Here's a key. Okay. If you're waiting to start until you feel confident, I got news for you. Okay. Confidence comes from doing hard things. Confidence comes from you knowing it's hard and you doing it anyway. You starting where you stand and you just go do it. Do you think the first time I went live or the first time I did a post, I was super confident? I was already kind of a speaker, had been a leader for a while. The first time I did a post on Twitter, I think, before it was X, I don't know, whatever, it was like 2018. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I hope nobody sees it. And nobody did. I was speaking to an empty room. But I was honestly, I was a little nervous about it. I'm like, what if people don't like it, or what if this or that, or anything like that? Okay. You got to start where you stand with the skills you have and then go for it and keep going until you get better. Keep going and going and going until you get better. Okay. That's what you have to do. Keep going until you get better. Don't stop. Don't hold back. Don't just sit there and, wait and say, well, the timing's not right. I'm not feeling right. I don't look good. I don't feel good. I don't have the skills. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do anything. Start where you stand with what you got. If all you got's a phone, use the phone, right? For example, for making content. Okay, I'm just using making content. If you don't have a gym, start doing push-ups and sit-ups. Then join a gym, okay? If you don't know what to eat, start reading. Start asking ChatGPT and start reading, watching YouTube videos. Join my coaching membership. I keep saying it. Join my coaching membership. Join my coaching community. Start asking, okay? I coach some of the members in there. They ask me about nutrition, and I'll give answers, and I put it in their personal box so they've got a program. They know what to eat, and then I'll share it with everybody else too so they know. And I also, in one of my sessions, in session 1 or 2, coaching session 1 or 2, which you'll have access to if you join the coaching membership, you can go back to it. and you can look at the live video, and you can look at the presentation. So you don't have to, it's usually about an hour and a half video. I do Q&A with everybody for 30 to 45 minutes afterwards, but you can actually scroll through the presentation and say, okay, this is where he talks about this. Then go to the video replay of the coaching session. Hear me talk about these things. I talk about energy fuel sources. I talk about all this stuff. Okay. So if you want to learn more about this, it's a one-stop shop, because your dreams are within reach. The dream life you've been waiting for and you want to build is within reach. Okay. And a lot of the times, like the transformation I'm trying to create with you in my work is the realization that you have the power to create change. You have the power to be, do, and have anything you want. What do you want? Number one, how much energy you want to put into it? How much action are you going to take? What are you going to do to get there? Okay. All of these things matter so much, but you have the ability and you have the power to make change. Okay. So I'm not selling you how to make money. I'm not selling you how to lose weight. I'm not selling you or trying to tell you about, how do you have a better relationship. I'm selling you on all of it. All of it is there. Okay. And we're going to deep dive every single thing. We're going to talk about all of it because I am a, no kidding, life coach, leadership coach. I'm an executive performance coach. I help teams and organizations and companies to grow, help their organizations to grow, help leadership. I do leadership training as well too. Okay. All of these things, because I think what I work on is life, because in life we encounter all these different things. And what I want to teach you is the tools, techniques, and mindset and executive skills and how to plan and goal set and make strategy and protect your unstoppable mindset. Create that ferocious optimist mindset, combat mindset to carry you through anything, to know how to make a plan, a mission, like a military mission, and go after whatever it is you want and be relentless about it. And if you don't know how to do it, just like in the military, we do recon. Okay, we're going to put the drone up there. We're going to send out the recon teams. We're going to find a way about who knows it, how we can learn it, how we can get it, how we can build it, and we're going to do it. Okay, that's the mission I'm on. All right, to teach you that you can do it. You can make a change. Okay, 100%. All right. Yeah, we do have so much available to us in this time to excel. It's 100%. We even have, hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. It's so true. And so I want to pass all that on. And that's like in my coaching membership, we're going to hit a bit of everything, right? And then when we go in the community, you can get more focused about what you're really trying to hit as you post your goals and you bring it up to the chat and the Q&A, or you DM me directly and say, hey, I'm looking at working on this. How do I get ahead on this? And I'm going to write back to you. Okay. So check it out. Please check out my coaching membership, my community. You're going to love it. All right. So again, identity drives your behavior. We talked about the I, all right? Initiate with identity. You don't wait till you feel confident. You become the person who acts with confidence, okay? You have confident that you can figure it out. That's the confidence I want you to have. Because every time we achieve one goal, we get to the top of one mountain, another mountain happens to be through the clouds. We have to go back down again and reclimb again to get to the top of the next mountain, okay? And oh, brother, that's hard. We climb to the top of one mountain, there's always a second mountain in the back, okay? That's just how it is. But when you have this ability to plan, okay, create a plan, a mission, this is like really mission planning. You know what you want, you know what your mission is. You put out reconnaissance to try to figure out how to get it, okay? You make a plan how to get it, you gather resources, you go off on another operation, another expedition, and you go and seize that objective and you make it happen. You go and do it, all right? But you've got to just start with what you have. Have the confidence to know that I might not know it now, but I'm going to figure it out. Okay, that's the big thing, okay? Confidence really starts when you decide to start taking action. You pat yourself on the back for the actions you take. If the results you get aren't the results you want, that's okay. Celebrate the fact that you took action. You have the courage to take action, all right? Then learn from the results you get. How can you improve? How can you get better? Study it, get better at it. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, so I want you to say this out loud yourselves, that I'm the type of person who will take action no matter how I feel. I'm the type of person that will go after it, get after it, and take action no matter how I'm feeling. Okay, I'm gonna do it. All right, this is where discipline comes in. And after a while, after you were disciplined for a little while and you have the willpower for a little while, the next thing you know, you build a habit of action. I want you to build a bias and a habit for action. Okay, that's the I. Okay, covered the F. We covered the I. Now we're going to cover the R. Rehearse relentlessly. What do we talk about? Steph Curry, 500 shots before a game, 500 shots daily. Okay. Rehearse relentlessly. When I do public speaking, okay, and you can see on YouTube some of my talks, right? Some of the talks I've given. I rehearse a ton. Okay. I rehearse these things backwards, forwards, every which way. All right. because I want to be completely off book. I want to master my material, and I want to be able to get up in front of people. If the mic fails, if the lights go out, if the presentation doesn't work, if I'm sick, if I can't sleep, something happens, someone tries to talk to me right before I go on stage, which has happened like so many times I can't even tell you, because it's the funniest thing. People who aren't going up on stage sometimes will come up to me and talk to me and be like, and there are a couple hundred people out there waiting for me, right? Oh, hey, did you? Oh, wow. Oh, you're a Marine. Oh, this. I'm like, yeah, you realize I'm like walking on stage. They're announcing me. And people don't care. But you can't get thrown off, okay? When you have your speech, your talk, your presentation, I'll be talking for an hour most of the time, like I am now, deeply ingrained inside of you. You know what your mission is. You deeply understand it. Every reason why you need to share this information with people, you'll never fall, okay? You'll always rise up and crush it and add the emotion, add the layers of emotion, energy, all those things like that, okay? So I want you to rehearse relentlessly whatever it is you're trying to get good at. Practice. I'm going to say this, okay? People say practice makes perfect, okay? Look at me now. Watch me now. Listen to this. Very important. People say practice makes perfect. But I'm going to tell you this. That's not true. Practice makes permanent. Here's what makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Remember that. Perfect practice makes perfect, okay? Now, it might not be exactly perfect, but when you're striving for perfection and taking action, despite mistakes, don't stop if it's not perfect. Keep going. Any flaws are okay, all right? Keep going. Strive to make it the absolute best you can, delivering your message, delivering your best, highest quality content, your best, highest quality skills and delivery and client service, customer service, your best products at work, your best leadership you can, your best care and concern, everything. But perfect practice with that type of intentional work and attitude, that will make perfect. That will make you a badass for life, a badass for leadership, a badass in your career. Okay. So remember that. Have a bias for action, prioritize what's important to you, get after it, and friggin' take tons of action every day in a very specific sniper-like accuracy on your targets. Okay, don't spray and pray. Sniper-like accuracy always. Okay, good. Perfect practice makes permanent. Yes, practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes perfect. Remember that, okay? All right. The E in the FIRE, in the F.I.R.E. FIRE framework. Elevate through execution, okay? Fear is the biggest four-letter word out there. Fear is contagious. Fear kills us, okay? You know, it's either face everything, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise, okay? The cure for fear is taking action. The cure for fear is getting after it and taking the right action, okay? Sometimes you got to get angry. I'm not going to lie to you. Some people will say, well, we got to get grateful in the face of fear. Yes, 100%. It will help you. But for some fears, you got to get pissed off, man. You got to get angry. And you got to say, you know what? I'm not going down. I'm not going down without a fight. I'm going to win. I'm going to attack, and I'm going to attack, and I'm going to keep on attacking until the job is freaking done. Okay? That's what you got to say to yourself. Bias for action. Okay, the best cure for fear is get on the attack. Attack. Have a plan. Don't quit. Be proactive. Don't be reactive and afraid and hiding and, no, what do I do? What do I do now? Okay? Get like the wolf. Get like a Marine. Get like a special operator. Okay? Think like a champion. Think like a gladiator. Think like a Spartan warrior, a badass. Okay? Greek heritage, I got to say the Spartans. All right? Think like a badass and get the hell after it. Okay? Get after it. Don't back down. Get on the attack. You can figure this thing out. You're stronger than you know. You're more powerful than you know. You have greater courage than you can imagine. You can take more than you could ever imagine. See what this baby can do. See what your mind can take. See what your body can do and get after it. Okay? You can take more and do more than you can ever imagine. Okay? Be strong in the face of the adversary. Be strong in the face of fear. Keep going, take action, get on the attack. Now, it's all a thinking man's game or girl's game, right? It's a thinking person's game, okay? So you got to stay on your toes and think of innovative ways to go over, around, through, under, okay? The enemy and the opposition. But you can do it. You will find a way if you never quit and you have a bias for action. You take massive action every day and recruit help. Get an accountability circle. Get a coach. Get a mentor. Find allies. Find teammates. Find people who will teach you and tell you and be in your corner. That's where this coaching membership comes into play. This is where this accountability circle, my community, comes into play. Okay? You need to do it with a team. You want to go far, as people say, you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go with a team. I will even submit to you, if you want to go fast, go with a team, because the team, you're scaling intelligence, you're scaling experience. You're getting to leverage their experience and their intelligence, their know-how, and the mastermind function. We're a mastermind in a community, in a coaching membership, or whatever it is, a group of friends, however you want to do it. It doesn't have to be me. You're leveraging all of that experience, intelligence, and that mastermind synergy to accomplish things faster, okay? So that is the F.I.R.E, the FIRE, okay? Fuel the body first. F, I, initiate with identity. R, rehearse relentlessly. E, elevate through execution, okay? And just remember, you don't rise by mere hoping, okay? You rise by igniting your fire, all right? And sometimes it's going to take more than just you by yourself. When you're facing significant challenges, okay, you want to have an accountability team. You want to have a community around you supporting you as you go and as you strive. You want to have a coach by your side. You want to learn the best strategies for someone who's been there and done that before and coached people in your arena or in other arenas and watched what works, okay? I've been doing this full time for almost 7 years now, okay? And I have thousands and thousands of hours of coaching and working with people, okay? I've coached people in the service industry. I've coached people in manufacturing. I've coached people in finance. I've coached people in the entertainment industry. I've got celebrities. I've got some of the, most successful entrepreneurs in our country, some globally around the world, okay? And so what is the thing I've seen between all of them is that, first of all, they get help and they get coaches. They want to level up all the time. They have a community around them, an accountability circle. They don't go it alone, okay? And they are constantly refining and reviewing, refining, and upgrading their unstoppable mindset. And through ferocious optimism is the ones who have worked with me, okay? And what else are they doing? They're always learning new strategies, new tools and techniques to optimize their performance, okay? And to the power of self-reflection by standing with someone and working with someone who can help them through their difficult challenges is what makes them get ahead of their competition, okay? So I implore you, if you're going in to try to level up and to achieve new things and achieve new goals and to get to your best self right now, your highest next level, I implore you to please don't go it alone. If it's not me, find someone else that's going to help you, but you will accomplish more that way. All right, it's been a real pleasure to be here tonight, guys. Enjoy your Independence Day. Remember what it's all about. Give thanks for this fantastic country we live in, and have a safe holiday. Enjoy your time. Be careful with those fireworks out there, and make yourselves better, make the world better. Have an amazing day, an amazing weekend. And remember, this is your time. The time is now. This is your time. Invest in yourselves, believe in yourselves, and go get yours. I'll see you all next time. Let's go.